have to tell you guys how much I love an Amarok. I think it's quite clear it's always been my favorite bakkie. And I'm now in the special edition Canyon, which comes in this honey orange metallic, which may remind you of something else, but we're not going to mention, it's a different range. I know. So yes, a limited edition, like the Ranger has the Raptor, Nissan Navara Stealth, etc. I think this one is sitting at the top of my list. I didn't think that would happen because I loved the Raptor, loved it. Okay. This, I think, because it's the Amarok, and the Amarok for me is the closest drive to a car. This almost like an SUV, so it's easy to maneuver. It's just like a fantastic drive, and it doesn't always feel like you're driving like, a tractor just covered up in, prettiness-ish. So you've got like Canyon decals and obviously the orange, a bit of like black handles, etc. And then on the inside, you've got the same orange stitching on the chairs. You've got partial leather. You've got the stitching on the seat belts. It's got all these like little Canyon details about it. But under the bonnet, you've got a 3-litre V6 engine. And you get 165 kilowatts of power and 550 Newton meters of torque. That's great power, and it has an overboost function which will give you a little bit more power, up to 180 kilowatts for a certain amount of time. The 8-speed automatic transmission is fantastic, faultless even, I think. It's really probably one of my favorite transmissions on a bakkie. I'm losing your mind. The ride is sort of perfectly firm, so it's not terrible on the road, but you need the sort of firmness, if you will, whilst you're off-roading. It's what gives this such that sort of sporty appeal, and add that to this Amarok drive, and you kind of got like the perfect sports bakkie. The suspension is a bit different to the setup, say, on the standard Amarok, so it just, so that helps with like body roll, etc. But this car, to take off-road, is fantastic. It feels so solid and it's so confidence-inspiring that you really just feel like you can give it horns. Sticks like shit to a blanket. It doesn't sort of play as much where, sometimes it gives you that, I better just like chill the out here. Nope. This, I don't know. All the feels. At 840 odd thousand rand, it ain't cheap, but it really does tick all the boxes. Like I said, it's got that SUV sort of feel, so you kind of could have this as you certainly could have this as your everyday car. I don't understand the bakkie appeal necessarily. I've had this conversation with my colleague Terence Steenkamp, because I get it, like it's not practical. I don't want to put my groceries just on the back seat, because if you've got people in there, what do you do? And if you don't have a cover for the back pane, even if you do, oh my gosh, do they roll around? So I'm not one for the sort of leisure bakkie, let's have this as my everyday car, take the kids to school. Not that I have kids, but you know what I mean. I think it's like, this would be my favorite sort of workhorse with a bit of fun, with a bit of chutzpah and like, wow, in it, But you can't change a sort of bakkie lover's mind. You got your Toyota Hilux fans, you've got your Ranger fans, and I don't know how many Amarok fans. Like the Amarok fans seem to be a little bit more subdued and a little bit more reserved, and I think it's probably because they get the like roar from the like diehard Hilux fans who are like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not as reliable. It doesn't last as long, and all those things might be true only because Hilux has been around for 1,000 years. I'm losing your mind again. I'm losing my favorite game. I think I love the convenience of an Amarok with this off-road button. You just press it and then the car does everything for you. It changes the traction, it changes the power, etc., etc. And that for me, I want something to be easy, And it also gives those who aren't maybe, expert off-roaders or 4x4s, it gives them that boost of confidence where they pop that in and they know the car's going to do it for you. And that's the point, isn't it? Is it? I think it is. I'm really excited to see the 2022 Amarok, because that's going to be a collaboration with Ford. But if you're a diehard Amarok fan like I am, then maybe take a look at this one, because it's going to just be obviously the original Amarok, and maybe that's what you're going to want. Just a thought. So here's my free advice. Okay, we've just had like the biggest storm of our winter so far, and I took this, you would have maybe seen on social media, pictures of this and the foam and everything, and it is all fun and games and stuff until your car rusts up and goes like, you for doing that to me. So if you're going to do stuff like that, make sure that you like high pressure hose your car down underneath, inside, around, not inside obviously, but inside, you know. Just make sure that you clean your car quite thoroughly after doing such things. And if you're going to take things into snow and during storms and stuff, just be careful. I see people doing some really stupid shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't wait for the wave to crash over you, because now you're going to get washed out to sea, and then some person has to come and save you. No. Okay. Woo! Oh, not yet.